welcome back to another episode here with me. I know my live stream today is a little different. I missed out today. I had to go get a nice quick cut. But hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's doing good. Market seems to be good. I think my portfolio was pretty green today. Let's take a quick look at what's happening in the market. We have some big earnings coming out after the market closes. Maybe we can even take a quick look at some of them. So guys, welcome. Let's take a quick look. Like always, today is Thursday. I did my weekly purchases, and let's see what's happening. So pretty much AMD, right? AMD is killing it the past 2 days. What's going on, Turtle? How's it going? Hope everything's going good. But we can see, right, AMD is doing great, man. This company's up 5%. It broke over $100. I did a video on their earnings yesterday, and it just seems, I think Silenex also just recently did earnings. I didn't follow them, but I know they did earnings, and it seems to be very strong. Tesla's another big one today, up 4.5%. We also have some Zoom up. Celsius is killing it still, up 3.5%. C Limited, 3.3. One of my favorites, Unity, is over $110 again. I'm just taking a quick look to see where my baby Nvidia's at right now. Let's take a quick look. Is it on red today? I don't see you. Where is Nvidia? Oh, here we go. That one's, I mean, it's still kicking, 196. So guys, today, right, what's going on, Danny? How's it going? So Danny, I mean, this is probably going to be a weird question, Danny. Today I was on Clubhouse, and there was a Daniel that came out on the Clubhouse. Was that you, Danny, or was that someone else? I'm pretty sure there's plenty of Dannys in the world, but just out of curiosity. So right, today we have some crazy earnings. Let me just take a quick look at the calendar. So right, what do we have? Yesterday after close, we had Facebook. We had Facebook, PayPal, Qualcomm, some of the popular ones, right? I only did a video on Facebook. I know some of you guys were looking for, oh, Danny. Wow, your real name is David. That's actually something I normally don't see, Danny, right? I mean, David's usually I would go with Dave's. Pretty interesting. But some of you guys were looking for a Spotify video. I am working on information on that. I probably might do that with another stock. Might do it with PayPal. PayPal and Spotify both dropped after earnings. So I might do a video with those two together. But I'm still pretty much bullish on Spotify. Today before the market opens, I personally didn't have anything this morning. I don't know if you guys did, but nothing really grabbed my attention this morning. Now, after the market closes, I think we're going to be in for some work, right? We have Amazon reporting it. We have reporting. And I think Amazon stock price is down right now, right? Amazon stock is down about 1.05% as I am recording this stream or live streaming this stream. So Amazon is down to 1.05%. Where's Pinterest? I think Pinterest is also taking a hit today. They're down about 5.3%. I mean, I wonder if there might have been some leak on earnings ahead of time, or if people are just kind of seeing are worried that, hey, they might kind of show some slowness in growth, very similar to how Facebook did in their earnings call, even though I don't think it's bad. But Pinterest is down 5% right now before even the market, before they report earnings today. So maybe either someone knows something or people are just worried after Facebook earnings. We also have Twilio. So Twilio is a big one. One of my favorites right now. This one's down 0.61%. In all honesty, if it does take a nice hit, this could end up going into like my maybe my watch list. But right now at these levels, I don't mind not adding. Twilio's down 0.61. Does anybody have any stocks that they're waiting for earnings this week? Especially today, right? I mean, we're almost done with the week. Tomorrow we don't have anything pretty exciting. Maybe some of you guys might be in Exxon. Maybe some of you guys might be in Caterpillar. And then, oh, Danny, Nintendo's greasing you up, about to hit your stop loss. So let me take a quick look at Nintendo. So did you just recently get into it? Are you looking into it for a long term of things, or is it just a short term trade? I mean, it did seem to, it broke out of that mid 60, 68 like support level that it normally has. But it seems to bounce off in the low 60s as well. Best of luck to you there, Danny. I, I have to start finding some more gaming companies out there right now. I don't know if Nintendo might make the list. Nintendo, but definitely something to keep an eye out. Turtle. So I bought who today. Was that a good buy? That's Robinhood, right? It's so weird. I haven't really followed Robinhood. It's just really a market I could care less. I mean, the overall trading platform is not something that really interests me at all. Stock price is down 8% right now. So Turtle, I mean, I haven't done any of the financials or fundamentals looks on it. They probably did a nice presentation to show what's great about the company. But like I said, Turtle, right, this is definitely not a market for me. And just because it's one I don't get interested in and just don't follow much. For example, I think Coinbase, I feel like I've only done one or two videos. Not a market I follow too much. It's not markets I invest in. But what are you looking into, Turtle? Are you looking for a short term trade on Hood, or are you looking for a long term investments? Danny, and for you, the Nintendo was a short term trade for you. My other plays are Airbnb and LCII. That's an RV company. That's pretty interesting. I've never heard of LCII. This is a first time for me, and I don't really. Have I heard of them? I don't know. But this is pretty interesting, right? So it's a super small market cap, Danny, in the RV company. What actually got you? How did you find this company? This one's pretty interesting for sure. Let's take a quick look at the overall market right now. How are stocks overall doing? So Dow right now is up 0.47%. We have the NASDAQ up 0.15, pretty much flat. I'm guessing it's waiting for how some more big techs go today. Amazon, right? S&P is pretty much at 0.46 right now. So we can see, I mean, I don't think anything crazy happened in the stock market. There hasn't really been any much movement if we look at the overall map. What's going on, Third? And guys, I did mention I wasn't going to live stream tomorrow morning, but I think because I missed this morning, I kind of got a refresh already, and I'm feeling good. So I think I should be live streaming again tomorrow at my normal times. But we can see, right, overall market seems to be pretty flat. There's nothing, I don't feel like anything is screaming that there was some major impact in the market. Facebook down 4%. I don't believe Facebook earnings were bad. The only thing is Facebook kind of ran up a lot during, if we take a look at Facebook stock, right, Facebook did take a nice growth after some of these after some of these other social medias, like I think Snapchat went, Google reported strong thoughts on strong growth on their advertisements. So that kind of all accelerated Facebook's pre-earnings. And then once they showed a lot of strong earnings, the stock price dropped, even though things were good. So even though it dropped 4%, we are at levels kind of last seen on Friday of last week. So I don't think this drop is anything to really really be fearful of, in my opinion. So 30, yeah, I mean, that's something interesting, right? So Pinterest does report earnings today after the market close. So the only thing I would want to say, 33 and a third, investors might have just been or might just kind of, even look, the stock price is still, it's not down that much, right? I think investors are just worried about earnings. They saw that, hey, Facebook mentioned there are going to be a bit of a slowdown in Q3 and Q4. Maybe some Pinterest investors are kind of worried that Pinterest might do similar thoughts. But a lot of that was talked about in their last earnings. So right now it is down. Pinterest is down about 5.6%. Either somebody knows something, or it's just the overall fearness about Facebook earnings, even though they weren't that bad, right? So Danny, agree, right? Gotta rest up sometimes. Yeah, it kind of refreshes me. I just had a appointment with my barber this morning, so I couldn't. But it gave me some rest. So I'm definitely gonna be on tomorrow for a live stream. Tesla, Aaron, yeah, for sure. I mean, Tesla is super green here, up 4.76%. Aaron, do you know exactly if there's anything in particular that happened with Tesla today? Let's take a quick look. Tesla stock. Danny, the fresh cut hit different. I mean, yeah, I have to go a little bit more often, especially now that I'm doing this professional YouTube stuff. I gotta look fresh more often, but sometimes I'm just too lazy. So Tesla, look at me, who's that handsome guy? But Tesla to hold AI Day as rivals ramp up self-driving efforts. Um, is that the only reason why the stock price is up? Model 3, okay. I see a couple of reasons why this might be happening. Um, let's see. So Aaron, second, so Model 3 doing well in Europe. Oh, nice. That's actually pretty impressive. Second best-selling car last month in Europe. So definitely, I personally, I do have a small position in Tesla, right? But I'm excited. I'm pretty. They have some great engineers, right? I mean, the engineers there, unfortunately, I know work their arse off. So I personally would never want to work at Tesla just because I know I would never have a life. But I definitely want to, even though I have a small position, this is something I'm definitely going to take a look and listen to. They plan to have an artificial day, AI day. I'm guessing they're going to talk a little bit about the efforts and just the overall market. Stuff like that I think is pretty interesting. So that's going to be on August 19th of 20, so a few weeks from now. So I'm going to put that in my calendar for sure. Something very interesting. I just love hearing how the overall market is expanding. What's going on, Breezy? How's it going? So Tesla did have a great day. Another one that's having, besides AMD, right? Lisa Su is just killing it. Qualcomm had another great day, right? Qualcomm Silenex is up also. Silenex is up 5.17% today. Right now it is tracking a bit of AMD, but QCOM had their earnings recently. QCOM is one I enjoy a lot. In forms of a stock that I don't have but don't mind looking into. QCOM is up 5.89. I'm guessing they had strong earnings. I do own forms of QCOM with my Metaverse ETF, the Meta ETF for sure. So is there any other stocks you guys want to take a look at? Feel free to just let me know. I'm just here interesting anything else that's pretty up right now. It does seem like banks are up. I think it's insane, right? Does anybody follow PayPal? Do you guys have PayPal in your stocks right now? That one's down about 6%. I'm surprised not many people are talking about that right now. Have any more thoughts on Airbnb? Danny, no, nothing really, right? I mean, if we take a look at Airbnb, I haven't really looked too much at their fundamentals, Danny. The only thing is just I really liked it at these levels in the mid to low 130s. Right now, I don't think the stock price is still overextended, but it definitely had provided better buying opportunities when I have that circle right there. So overall, not one I have invested in. I don't know. So I mean, the more. See you on, so I came to hit the like. Breezy, appreciate, man. Appreciate the support. It means so much. So I don't know. The more I take a look about my overall market, the markets I enjoy. That's the gaming market, the fintech market, the e-commerce market, the ad tech market. The more I'm trying to build, I feel like I am gonna start building a more metaverse style portfolio. And it's just I'm definitely gonna have some time to think about it, even though most of my companies are already into some form of way invested in the metaverse. For example, Nvidia, we have Nvidia there, we have AMD in there. I want to make it probably a little bit more concentrated within that market. So 33, I don't know why your name always gives me a hard time. 33, thoughts on Teladoc stock price struggling? Yeah, so T-Doc definitely took a hit after earnings. It's a small position in my portfolio, but they did take a small hit after a huge hit. I'm pretty sure they were down almost double digits at one point when they presented earnings yesterday. But this one kind of ran back up. It was impressive how it ran back up out of nowhere. I haven't really looked at the earnings 33. So can't really give too much insight on it. The only thing is, it's definitely impressive. I don't think I've ever. There's definitely I've seen it. It's very rare for me to see that kind of correction that it had this past earnings and kind of erase almost all those losses and go almost to a green in one day. So it was at 300 at one point. Yeah, so Teladoc definitely has had better days. Give me 1 second, guys. I didn't tell the wife I was live streaming, so she's giving me a quick call. So Breezy, no, I'm not buying Robinhood. But yeah, Teladoc. I mean, this is one of the reasons, right? 33 is why, even though sometimes if I enjoy a company, when I find it overextended, I limit my exposure size. I've done it with a lot of big companies, even in my portfolio, right? Unity is a big name. When they are overexposed like this, even if I like it, I don't tend to buy a lot. I might increase exposure little bit by little, but I do believe sometimes kind of looking at overextension can help out in long term of things. It prevented me a lot from buying heavy at these levels. So right now I am focused in a little bit more markets outside of the telemedicine. So I'm not really taking too much of an eye on Teladoc. Would you buy more Teladoc? I think hopefully you might have witnessed that in a bit. At the moment, I'm not planning on buying. If I was really bullish into telemedicine, I mean, I can't really say, right? I haven't really looked at their earnings. If I was looking at the earnings, if I looked at their earnings and their earnings were pretty strong, if I liked where they were going, at these levels, I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. But like I said, to me, it's more of other markets that I have better. I want to put more money into aside of the telemedicine right now. So ACG, what's going on, ACG? Opinions on Vuzix. I really do like Vuzix. I like it a lot. It definitely has been giving investors a buying opportunity. VCIX. Which one's Vuzix again? Ticker. So this is the augmented reality glasses. I mean, right now, I do believe it's, again, all opinion, nowhere near advice. What's going on, Q? How's it going? Hope the family, hope you are doing good, Q. Hope everything's going well. So to me, Vuzix is more of one of what I consider ACG like a very high growth company, right? A high growth, more speculative base. I've done a few videos on them, ACG. So definitely take a look at my YouTube catalog. But this is one that's nowhere near profitable right now. If we take a quick look at future growth. Wait, am I looking at the right one? Yeah, that's Visa. I'm like, what? So this is a company nowhere near profitable, nowhere near positive in cash flow from operations, right? ACG. For those not familiar with Vuzix, like I mentioned, I've done plenty of videos on them. They are providing augmented reality glasses. You kind of use them right now for field and services. Let's say you're trying to build something or you're trying to work on something. You kind of get directions through the glasses, manufacturing solutions, warehouse solutions, and telemedicine solutions, right? And I do believe this is a big market they're hitting pretty heavy on right now, the telemedicine. So Vuzix is a position for me that's I believe a market that will grow dramatically, right? I could see this. This is augmented reality glasses is something that I think right now is the early stages. We already see Facebook right now. Facebook is working with Ray-Ban. They mentioned it yesterday. This is their next product line, the Ray-Ban smart glasses with Facebook. And they are expecting to have this sometime this year, I believe. So I do think the market is now ready for augmented reality glasses. But at the same time, though, right, Vuzix ACG is a company that's still very early stages. Right now, this, if I was to ever open up in my portfolio, be a small position. But I do like it at the levels it's at right now. I do believe a good portion of the risk has been eliminated. Again, none of it is advice, just my overall thoughts. So I like it. I like it for a small position. I understand the risk that, hey, this could be a company that there could be someone else that takes market shares. But who knows? I mean, with such a small company, I think it's less than $2 billion market cap. Who knows? Maybe a big competitor can go purchase them. in all honesty, I could see someone like Microsoft, someone like Facebook coming out to buy them just to increase their overall market, right? We have Microsoft having the HoloLens. We have now Facebook with the Oculus platform, and with now the smart glasses that they're coming out. So it's not impossible if I was to see some of them buy it. What's going on, Ed? Jose, you have been putting in work this week. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that you noticed. It's fun though. It's fun. I enjoy it, right? So I did take a. I feel like yesterday was a little bit slow in form of videos. And maybe today too. I just need to cool down real quick. But I think tomorrow I am gonna be coming in pretty hard. Even though I did Facebook this morning. Are you in Facebook, especially with them expanding on their gaming entertainment segment? So I do, Danny. Danny, Ed, appreciate it, man. Have a nice dinner. Oh man, I'll definitely have. You know, every time, guys, I appreciate the support, Ed. It really does mean a lot, and it really helps out so much. Every time, it doesn't matter how small it just I just feel amazing that I'm able to do this after like after 3 years, 3 to 4 years of me just like grinding nonstop, of working 2 jobs, of trying to make this like a freaking job for me, that now I'm able to kind of really do this full time. And thank you, Ed. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let's see, Danny, are you in Facebook, especially with them expanding on their gaming and entertainment segment? So yeah, I mean, Danny, I recently just did a video on Facebook. I that came out this morning. I believe it's I've been dropping videos at all hours now. It's just whenever something comes into my mind. But Facebook did report earnings. I'm really liking it, right? They're expanding into their improvements in e-commerce, in the payment solutions, in the entertainment world as content creators. So I am very bullish in Facebook. Obviously, they talk about the metaverse, and I do talk about it too, right? But the metaverse is not something I foresee being huge growth anytime soon. But I do think the stages to go there is something that Facebook has to do regardless of a metaverse. So, for example, the improvements of their e-commerce platform, the improvements of their payment service, the improvements of their content creation, all those stuff are needed for Facebook to continue to thrive. So I'm very bullish on Facebook. At the moment, I would say it's not. I want to say maybe a top 20 in my portfolio. So it's definitely one I wouldn't mind opening a little bit more if it gives me better buying opportunities. Right now, where it's at, I'm happy with my position size. If there are stronger buying opportunities for Facebook, I wouldn't mind entering a lot heavier. So that's what happens. Most of the times, like I built up a position I'm happy with, but if better buying opportunities, so usually, even though I like the company, I tend to not buy until better buying opportunities come because I'm already happy with my portfolio size. Courtesy of Celsius. Yeah, Celsius killed it today, right? Right, Ed? Valerian, what's going on? Snapchat has good AR glasses as well. So Snapchat, right? So I feel like I messed up on Snapchat before. I don't feel like I missed the boat. I missed the first boat. I don't know if I missed the whole boat. I definitely missed the first boat on Snapchat. I always used to think of Snapchat and a lot of these social platform companies, I always used to think of them purely as a social play. But all these social companies have their own things amongst them, right? Snapchat, huge market and technology in the augmented reality world. Like you mentioned, Snapchat has some crazy glasses. You know, it's so weird. I think my wife is stuck in traffic right now. I actually just saw, her. Yeah, she's stuck in traffic right now. 3 hours in traffic. That's insane. I just saw her purchase an Audible book, and I knew she was in a long trip right now. So, so Danny, yeah, I think the second segment Facebook has is being slept on. That's just the surface levels through thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys listened to the video, but Facebook is really focusing on the e-commerce side as well with their Facebook shops. They want to make it where Facebook shops, because right now if you own a Facebook store, it kind of sometimes takes you to like a third party, kind of like your website. Facebook is trying to make it more native, that when you kind of create a Facebook shop, it's purely within the Facebook platform. And that alone is going to drive a lot more customers into it, because there's been reports that show that when people kind of progress into like another party website, they tend to not buy a product. I mean, Shopify, that's why Shopify kind of integrated their Shopify payments for that reason, because they were seeing a decrease in people buying once they would go to a third-party service to either pay, to either shop. So Facebook is really trying to make this native on Facebook Shops, and I think that's a great move for them. So Valerian, thoughts on Google? I think Google has an edge in everything. I mean, it's insane. Google, it's a beast. YouTube now makes almost more revenue than Netflix, right? Wasn't that one of the what's Netflix revenue? I know if YouTube's revenue was 25 billion. So what was it this quarter? Yeah, YouTube is as big as Netflix and is growing much faster. I mean, isn't that insane? That's insane, right? So YouTube as a platform, I think, is insane. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it continues to grow, right? Because I would love to keep growing with YouTube. But this is insane how just YouTube alone is as big as Netflix now. And Breezy, do you have any crypto, Breezy? I do have some crypto. I haven't bought any crypto in a long time. I bought some crypto, I want to say, in early 2017. And it's just been sitting in my account for some time. And when Coinbase, funny story, when Coinbase went public, I wanted to do research and I wanted to check out an account on it. And I actually had an account with a few grand in crypto. Not a big amount. It's probably like 4% of my portfolio size, but it was a nice welcoming. And at the moment, I haven't really touched it. I haven't bought anything. It's not a market I'm too bullish in. Not bullish in. Not a market I follow too much. So I don't go and use my money there. I pretty much purchase stocks instead. But that doesn't mean I'm bearish on crypto. It's just a market I don't invest in, Breezy. So for that reasons, I don't really buy. AMD, ACG, of course, AMD is just killing it. All right, and up 5%. It ended the day. You know, so the market closed. Congratulations. I'm pretty sure it was a nice green day for most of us, especially semiconductors. AMD up 5%. We also had what? Nvidia up. Nvidia was up 0.82%. We have QCOM up another 5% as well. So overall, great, up 6%, right? So semiconductor was definitely pretty good. We also had a great day with like C Limited. C Limited was up 3.4%. Unity, another one of my top stocks, was up 2.2%. And let's see, Sorens are my top four. Sorens was up 0.5%. They can't all be winners. So my top 5 positions killed it today. So I'm happy with my overall portfolio. I hope you guys did well too. So Ed, I thought Snapchat was going to die after TikTok, but no. Thought Snap was gonna get the mice. You know, Ed, me too. But it's pretty crazy. A lot of people don't use a lot of social platforms. For example, my mother-in-law, my wife, they don't have social platforms, but they use Snapchat because they just love sending pictures to families within it. So I see a lot of people, even though they don't have social platforms, they use Snapchat just to be able to send funny pictures to each other and keep in touch, which I think is pretty cool. And it's something I didn't really think about, right? It's not something that really goes in my mind. So does Instagram use Shopify? I think I read that one time. I do think they integrate to some extent, but now Instagram does use Facebook Shops though. Instagram, Facebook Shop. Confirm that you could use your shop. I do think what's going on, and Julie, what's going on? Thank you for the support. Oh man, you guys are on the roll. It was a really good day in the market. Julie, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. So what else do we have here? Pins, expectations, expected revenue, 562 expected. So what was their expected revenue? You kind of missed it there. Or are those the expectations? Okay, let's see how's Pinterest doing right now. Yeah, can you tell? Hello, AMD is up bigly. AMD is Yo, I'm gonna wish AMD and Celsius do nice so many times now. Sorry, we had Pinterest is 6.4% down. No real thoughts. Market did close. We haven't really seen anything at the moment. So, question: do you guys use any applications? Yesterday, I actually downloaded a pretty cool application to listen to earnings call. This is actually thanks to Fizz. Let me post it here. Obviously, this is not not a sponsor, but if you guys are ever listening to earnings call, this is the one I downloaded yesterday. I used it to listen to Pinterest. Man, now I gotta call them up and see if they can give me a sponsor. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. But it was called Quarter. I kind of hate sometimes using a company's website. You have to like sign in and do all this nonsense, and it takes time. You can't rewind. So if anybody's looking for a cool application to use, Jose's selling out. Yeah, Fizz posted. I listened to Spotify. Oh, does Spotify ad have earnings call? I did not know that. That's actually pretty interesting. Maybe I might just keep Spotify instead. But yeah, earnings call for Pinterest. What about Amazon? Did Amazon report any numbers already? So yes, it does seem like Amazon reported something. It's down 4.6% right now. That's insane. $167, right? I mean, this is insane how big. I wonder if Amazon is ever going to do a split. I mean, this is one that's taking its sweet time. Is it going to be the next Berkshire A shares? But Amazon, right, sitting right now at 3,420. So let's take a quick look. Amazon's earnings, investors relations. Let's see, maybe I don't know if you guys want to look at these boring stuff as earnings, but let's see, Amazon's earnings conference. No, I want quarterly results. Come on, give me your numbers. Wait, did you already? So Julie, no, I have not looked at Silenex. That's one I skipped over. I forgot that they did earnings. I'm guessing this is not this time, right? No, this is not right now. So they haven't released. Why can't companies just give us their numbers right away? Why do they take forever? Like, really, why do you guys take forever? It's after the market close. You can kind of share your press release already, and then lame. If anybody gets Amazon's numbers, feel free to let me know. I wouldn't mind taking a look at their presentation. So what else? But yeah, it's insane, right? Amazon is definitely taking a hit after the market close. Let's see. Let me close out of some of these because these are pretty much open for nothing. What's going on, Polly? What's going on? So, Julie, Silenex, I think, when did Silenex report earnings? Amazon earnings per beat by 280, misses on revenue. Man, Amazon is definitely a monster. I did not. What's going on, Stock Invest? I didn't know that they had their own game engine. That's actually pretty interesting. They are all high-fiving at the moment. Which one? ACG, Silenex, and AMD. They're all doing great. Every single stock I touch does great. Just kidding. SEC. I'm just joking. But yeah, so right now I'm just pretty much waiting. Oh, they did have earnings yesterday. So guys, if there's any stocks you guys want to take a look at before we go on, doing well, chilling out, waiting for Friday. Probably agree, man. So pins down to 62. All right, so pins. Let's take a look at pin stock right now. Why is Google? I mean, Google, come on. It's down 13% right now, $62. Pin down after 12% market. Let's take a quick look at Pinterest Investors Relations website. Let's see what investors are not liking. So press release, let's go to earnings presentation. So, I mean, the first thing I really want to take a look at is their overall numbers. I think this is what investors pretty much care about, and it's going to be the monthly active users. This is I can already tell you what investors are worried about, and it's like, look, quarter one, they had a total of 478 million monthly active users. It dropped down to 454. That's a huge drop. They're dropping both in the international market and the American market. So US is down 5% year over year. No matter what, I mean, I don't think, however, they could say they have strong revenues. As a social platform, this is pretty much your bread and butter. This is what really matters, and it's your monthly active users, especially if you're more like a free type platform where you deal with a lot of advertisement. This international growth, the global 9% year over year and 13% year over year international, I don't think it's bad, especially because right last year was a heavy growth for the company, heavy growth. So you don't expect this quarter to be really high growth, but you don't want to see, this is the last thing you want to see. You want to see a decline. Right, investors would prefer to see, especially at that levels, right? I mean, that's 24 million less active users. Regardless, what are we seeing? Average revenue per users are still pretty high this quarter. United States is now paying big bucks, right? So this is what happens, right? Advertisement is back. We're seeing more advertisements here on YouTube. We're seeing more advertisements in whatever platforms. When more advertisement is happening in platforms, the prices for advertisements spikes up, right? So even though they saw, so that's why you see average revenue per users kind of increase right now, right? So it's higher than previous quarters, just because right now the overall demand, usually quarter four, that's why quarter four, which is the holiday seasons, tend to be the highest in form of average revenue per users, because there's so many people that want to advertise their stores, their everything that's going on sale. So with the overall, there's less spots for advertisements, so prices go up. So I'm happy to see that, right? Average revenue per users. So there's always some good behind the bad. I want to say this is pretty much all investors care about, and this is what I want to say, this is what's going to be the headlines. So headlines in everything. Let's take a quick look at CNBC. I'm pretty sure headlines, if we take a look at CNBC, friends, is going to be, they haven't really posted anything. But once headlines come out, it's going to be like, monthly active users decreased by 20 million, blah, blah, blah. So that's going to be the biggest. What's going on, Sergio? How's it going? So, I mean, this is... And I'm guessing investors were excited a little bit, right? Because we saw Snapchat, right? I think Snapchat reported yet last week. Snapchat had great earnings. Facebook didn't have too bad earnings. We had some other, I think Twitter had strong ones. So investors were a little too excited on Pinterest, and that excitement kind of created even more of a risk for the company. So I don't think there's, maybe I might do a video on Pinterest. Regardless, right, they're still adjusted EBITDA profitable, so that's pretty good. Actually, pretty strong levels at this adjusted EBITDA. So this company, even though monthly active users have kind of decreased, they haven't really seen much of an impact in forms of financials. So like I said, it doesn't, it's not like I don't have pins. It's not like I'm trying to pump it. It's just like, it's always good to try to see both the bad and the good, right? I mean, and then try to make your own decision out of there. But overall, right? So yeah, I mean, that's the first thing. I think that's where every investor kind of got freaked out about, is that stock price still dropping at these levels. So yeah, it is. I mean, 13% drop. I want to see. And I do believe that kind of Pinterest mentioned it in their last earnings that they were going to see a bit of a slowdown in it. I don't know if they mentioned a decline, and I think that's the biggest. Sometimes companies just need to let you know. So they're pretty much right now around $62. I don't know why TradingView is not updating me after our prices, but this is where it's at right now. I mean, in theory, this is previous earnings. They had a nice amount of red days after that. So in theory, we can probably see it at lower prices than where it's at right now. But again, I don't have the shares right now. Again, there's still so much more to digest, but this is pretty much what investors are looking at right now. So did Amazon share information yet? So do we have any Pinterest holders at the moment? And I mean, it's never, sometimes, and right, sometimes we have a few bad quarters, right? And that's the thing, right? I personally don't let one quarter dictate if a company is bad or good. It has to be multiple quarters. So sometimes, and unfortunately, sometimes that's a risk. Some people might just wait for one bad quarter, and that's the time to. But companies, it takes companies a few quarters, a few months to kind of shift things around. They can't really work in 3 months, and I feel like sometimes that's the negative. That's the bad thing about earnings call, right? That you're basing companies on 3-month basis, but to run an actual company and only do it in 3 months, to only try to change things around in only 3 months I think it's very, very difficult to do. So Amazon, I don't want to take a. This is Amazon always puts so much information in here. I wanted to just take a quick look at their presentation, but they don't have that out yet. I'll probably do a video on Amazon, maybe Pinterest too, for today. So let's see. ACG, yeah, bye money. Bye. Maybe just bye for some time, right? So Amazon is down 5.1%. I mean, I do think tomorrow we might, with Amazon such a big player, it might drag some of the market down. So we might see a red day tomorrow. Not a guaranteed, but it's possible. But remember, red days on paydays are the best days. So Valerian, I think Pinterest would do well if they went into the artwork network. So Valerian, I didn't Pinterest buy a few acquisitions. Pinterest acquisitions. I thought they just recently purchased some companies. No, they haven't. I thought they did. Maybe I'm thinking about Etsy. Yeah, I guess it's not. I guess it's I guess it's Etsy I was thinking about. So Jose, what is the next middle in the haystack stock you feel is in the next couple of years? Julie, that's a pretty interesting question. So the next needle in the haystack stock you feel is the next couple of years. So I want to say from my biggest, I want to say it's probably going to be one of my tier 4 stocks. So even though some of them are really big, some of them are also pretty small, right? So I do think, and that's why I feel like most of my money is in these 4 stocks. Actually, maybe my 4. Nvidia, even though it's already at a $489 billion market cap, in the next couple of years, I can see this being a lot bigger. To me, and again, this is not advice, this is just my overall thoughts, and that's just why my portfolio is the way it is. Another one, C-Limit, market cap of 150 billion. Definitely one I can see grow in the next couple of years. Maybe in the short term, it'll be very, very volatile. I think the one with Cerence, and Cerence is probably my smallest company that has my biggest portfolio size. This is a $4 billion company, and it has it's my number 5 position size right now. Cerence is one I'm super bullish. This one might fall into that needle of the haystack. Again, these are not advice, it's just my overall thoughts, but based on my position sizing. And then finally, you have Unity Software, right? I think so Unity Software is another one. So these 4 plus AMD, I think are gonna be these right now. Even if I don't add on to them in my portfolio, I think they will remain the top 5 positions in my portfolio just through pure gains. So Julie, those are my 5 favorite companies right now. Another one that might make the list, a few that make the list, but not up there yet, would be Shopify, Twilio, right now. Twilio's after hours is down. Oh, they do report earnings, right? So Twilio after hours is down 2.3%. So Grant, wow, I took a massive L with my Amazon pins ER calls. Man, my bad, Grant. Best of luck to you. Calls are usually, I'm not much of an option player, but I'm guessing you win some and you lose some, right, Grant, on those option calls. So again, yeah, normally when I first started a few years ago, I wouldn't say 4 or 5 years ago, that's where I took my biggest loss, and it was through options. So even though I still kind of do options from time to time, it's nowhere near. Those were my biggest loss. It was the biggest wipe of my portfolio ever. So I mean, sometimes you lose money to get experience. It was a the school of hard knocks is how they call it, right? So I'm more of from options now. I just do spreads instead, if I ever do it. So Soul Builder by Soul Builder. I really like the name, and then with the picture you go with it, it's pretty cool. So buy Amazon now. I don't know, right? I mean, Amazon is one of the few giants I don't own. There's actually a lot of few giants I don't own. So Amazon is one of them. Apple is another one. Netflix is another one. So I mean, Amazon's strong company for sure, right? The e-commerce, AWS. AWS. I like Amazon, just not one in my portfolio right now. I'd rather put my money elsewhere. Doesn't mean it's a bad investment, just not an investment for me. Let's see, what else do we have? Roku, also Roku stock. Did they report earnings today? Julie, No, they didn't, but the stock is down 449. But I mean, this is insane. I mean, this one has just been killing it. It's up 200% in the past 12 months. Year to date is still up 41.4%. So sometimes we have to take a look at things in a longer time frame. Companies like Amazon, just buy if you have the money. Sergio, right? Company, yeah. Yeah, right. I guess if you don't want to invest in anything, maybe just want to go in some of the big players. And there's nothing wrong with ever just going with the big players, right? We have let's see. I'm guessing Microsoft has done strong returns. Microsoft year to date, 31%. So even some of the big players, right? Let's take a look at Amazon. Year to date, I think this one's actually kind of flat. No, year to date, 12.97%. So even the big boys can continue to give you some strong numbers, right? It doesn't have to be what's the next growth stock, what's the next super small micro cap. Even some of these large companies, right? Google is another one. Google just killed it in the past year to date, up 57.32%. So it's not like you just have to be in the smallest companies, and those are the only companies that are going to give you great returns. Look at these, the top 5 big players, I think minus Netflix, have been, I think Netflix has been the only dragger in the FANG plus ANG plus M. Right, Netflix, I think year to date is the only one that's pretty much flat. So overall, yeah. All right, guys, it is 4:20 right now. I did want to do a closing stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it, right? I am going to work on videos right now. I might pull out some. I'll see you guys tomorrow and for the market opens. If you guys are new, welcome. I see 46 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you to everybody. Ed, appreciate it. Julie, thank you so much, you guys. Upwork down 6 post market after earnings. Another one up. So definitely earnings today are videos that might get some views. Unfortunately, usually red days are the days that people tend to watch stuff. But guys, appreciate the support. Danny, Julie, thank you guys for being members. Whatever other members, I know Q came out here. So any other member that showed up today, and Ed, like I mentioned, thank you so much for the support. Julie, thank you so much for the support. Everybody, I'll see you guys tomorrow at whatever time, 10 o'clock Eastern time for the market opens. Have a good night and see you guys tomorrow. No one said nothing about the fresh cut. You guys are so rude, by the way. So rude.